Welcome to the Chic Show. Today I have 4 fall Kirkland's dupes for you. Let's dive right in. All of the projects today are quick, simple, easy, and budget friendly. The first dupe is inspired by this metal wall plaque. To start with, I'm going to be using this yardstake from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to be cutting off the stem. And with my wire cutters, I'm also just bending that back and forth until it pops off. I'm also using this other metal pumpkin from Dollar Tree as well. The wood piece is part of a Melissa and Doug puzzle that I found at a thrift store for $1.99. This will make the perfect frame for this piece. Once I've removed all the tags and the raffia bow, I'm going to take both pumpkins outside and give them a coat of off-white spray paint. Once the paint had dried, I'm using some antique gold rub and buff, and I'm just going to be rubbing it along the embellishments on the yardstake pumpkin and adding a few curved markings in there for the pumpkin. The second pumpkin didn't have any embellishments, but I just went around the edges with that rub and buff and in those creases. Since these pumpkins are not flush with the frame, I did use some tumbling tower blocks to glue to the back of them so that I could attach them to the frame. You could certainly use E6000 or some other kind of glue if you wanted for this project. I'm just using hot glue and it's held up fine for me. This was a very simple and inexpensive dupe to the Kirkland's wall plaque. This was a total of $5. Project 2 is inspired by this Happy Fall leaf stamp art print. I'm going to be using one of these box signs from Dollar Tree as well as some IOD stamps. Now I'm taping off the box sign so that the outside will look more like a frame. So I'm going to be painting the inside and the outside will remain as it is on this sign. The center of the frame will get a couple of coats of Waverly chalk paint and plaster. Once the paint has had a chance to dry, I'm removing that painter's tape so that it reveals our frame. Now I've chosen one leaf from the IOD stamp set, and I'm going to be stamping that onto the center of the frame. This ink pad is with a set of ink pads that I thrifted at a local thrift store not long ago. There's still enough ink that it worked just fine for this project. I used my computer and printer and printed out Happy Fall in a font that I liked. I'm simply taping that onto the sign, and then I'm using this carbon paper to trace over the words, and then I'll go back and fill in the words with a black paint pen. Again, this is a very simple and inexpensive dupe. Mine was less than $5. The third dupe is this wire pumpkin from Kirkland's, and while it was on clearance for $2.97, I'm going to recreate it for even less. This pumpkin is from Dollar Tree, and it was covered in glitter fabric. I just removed that fabric and took out the light that was in it. I'm adding on a leaf that I had from another project, and I did give both of these a coat of black spray paint. Now I'm adding in a black wire that I'm just going to make some curlicues with for this pumpkin. So all in all, this pumpkin was $1.25. I did add one of Dollar Tree's battery-operated candles to the center as well. I also styled it with some of Dollar Tree's white pumpkins. My final dupe today is this Autumn Vibes word block. Once again, I'm going to be using one of these box signs from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be painting the entire thing with Cashew by Waverly. My goal with painting this sign is to try and make it look more wood-like. So after we paint it with this cashew paint, I'm going to go back and dry brush it with some of this classic caramel. By using some gradually darker colors, it's going to give us some depth and a little bit more wood-like look. Now I'm doing the same thing with this craft paint in Latte. And next will be Nutmeg Brown. The next thing I'm going to do is get out all of my stamps that have leaves. They're not necessarily all fall leaves, but I used whatever leaves I had of every shape and size. So I'm using a black ink pad, and I'm just going to stamp those onto the sign. Now I'm using these two pieces of wood just from my stash. I've sanded them a little bit so there's no rough edges, and I'm going to give them both a couple of coats of Waverly White chalk paint. Again, using my computer and printer, I printed out Autumn Vibes, and I'm going to be taping this to each of those pieces of wood using my carbon paper and tracing the words onto the wood. And now again, using my trusty paint pen, I'm going to trace over those words. I wish I trusted my own handwriting better, but I know this way it will be straight. Once I adhere these two pieces of wood to the sign, our project will be complete, and I'm using super glue wood glue for that. Well, none of these projects today were expensive, even buying them from Kirkland's. I hope that you see that you can still recreate things for even less than retail prices. Here's a look back at all the projects I created today. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Let me know which project from today was your favorite, and remember to share the chic. Bye now.